Brenda, I just got $100,000 deposited right into my bank account. What is all this money for?
That's money for you to use for your schooling. You told me before that you wanted to go overseas for college, right? So I wanted to give you that money as a way of getting you out there.
Wait. Why are you giving me this kind of money, though? I know I've told you before about how I want to go overseas for college, but I knew it would cost money. And I was planning on working to make some of that money. You didn't have to borrow this money or anything like that, right?
It's not borrowed or anything, so you can relax. This happens to be money I obtained from my parents after they passed away.
Wait, you got this money as inheritance?
Last month, both my parents passed away at the same time, right? And while I've been over at their house taking care of it and cleaning it up, I found their wills. They told me that there would be no will, but after cleaning around in the house, I found them in my father's nightstand.
Really? So that must mean you found more than enough to where you were able to give me this much for my dream.
That's right. But I'm a bit upset that they never used this money up while they were still around. They could have had it all, going into a really nice retirement condo or something. They always told me that they didn't have any money and that they wanted to stay in their old home together.
I feel that you should be getting all this money though, Brenda. You worked a whole lot and spent most of your time taking care of your parents, so you deserve this money more than I do. I feel terrible using the money you were given on my schooling.
What are you talking about, Alex? Let me tell you right now that I got enough money from my mom and dad that I'm totally fine handing you $100,000. I think this is the kind of money I'd like to share with those that I love. So please, don't get the wrong idea and use all that money up making your dream of studying overseas come true. It's only right for me to give you money as you're my son. I never thought I'd have that kind of money to give you, but you should take it and use it. That's what I want you to do. Or could this all mean that you don't see me as your mother? Maybe you don't want my money because you don't feel as though I'm like your mother at all.
That's not it at all. I think of you as being my real mum, Brenda. And I'm really happy to hear you calling me your son. Actually, having all this money to spend on school makes me really happy.
Then please take it and don't say anything else to me about it. I love you so much and think of you as an amazing son, so please show me that you can become even more amazing in another country.
Thank you so much for this. I'm going to get right to work, talking with one of the schools I'm really wanting to go to.
Yoo-hoo, Mom! I know it's been 2 years now, but how are you doing? Huh? Christine? What do you want with me right now? Why are you asking me that like you don't want to hear from me? Your favorite daughter is finally getting back in touch with you, so you should be more excited than that. And actually, I was a bit worried about you, hence me texting you again. You're worried about me? I heard that Grandma and Grandpa passed away, so I was just assuming that you might be pretty down after all that happened. You'd always been around those two taking great care of them, right? So I'm sure you're very lonely now and sad. I never thought that you, of all people, would be worried about me. Especially after you left me to take care of my parents and then kicked me out of your life. So strange to be hearing from you like this again. Hey now, don't say something scary like that, all right? I didn't kick you out of anything. You're making it look like I'm some kind of horrible daughter to you. Well, that's because you have been a horrible daughter to me. Neither you or your father ever came near me when I was having to care for my parents, and it hurt. Instead, you actually grew further away from me and made sure I was aware of that. And just as I was having a terrible time having to balance out my life and caring for my mom and dad, you started to complain about the chores at home never being done. And started to say that I smelled awful after coming home from caring for my parents before running to your room and leaving me with all the chores to have to do then. And in the end, you handed in your own parents' divorce papers, right? Aw, I'm sorry about back then. I was just like Dad and very busy with a whole lot of things. That's it. It made me a little moody is all. And because of my moodiness, I happened to get you and Dad divorced. Excuse me? Well, come on now. Dad was so busy having to work from morning to night every day of the week and never had time for you. And I myself was in the middle of looking for a job but wasn't having any luck. So both Dad and I couldn't be asked to do the chores at home and made you do them all instead. All you had to do was take care of our family, but you always did stupid things like go to Grandma and Grandpa's place to help them. I was really pissed at you for focusing on them all the time instead of on our house, and that made me even more moody. So that's your reasoning for kicking me out of that house and out of your life? I can't believe it. But hey, after you were gone, I began to understand just how important you were. Both Dad and I learned that there was some use for you. What? We started to learn just how tough doing the chores is and how dirty as well. And we also learned that having to care for others is quite a difficult task. And looking online and watching the news, we learned. But it was too late then, because I already had handed in Dad and your divorce papers and got you both separated. I'm so sorry about that. Are you really here to apologize to me for that? I actually wanted to apologize to you back then, but I was too afraid of calling you. I had started to think that you would hold all of that against Dad and I and didn't want you doing anything to us. But I just heard that Grandma and Grandpa died. I guess they couldn't stick around any longer, could they? And I'm sure losing both your parents must be hurting your heart so badly, right? What has gotten into you, Christine? You are a lot different than you were 2 years ago. It's only natural for me to be worried about my mom, right? So that's why I'm thinking next time you and I can go out for food together. Actually, how about we go to a resort for the weekend and relax together? What? I was thinking us two could go to one of those really luxurious and expensive resorts in Cancun and relax there. This time I promise to be there for you and make sure you can feel my love. I'm happy to see that you're feeling that way, but you are actually willing to come take me to Cancun to a resort there for a weekend to relax? What? When it comes to money, you're the one that's loaded, right? I heard you got $2 million from your parents after they died. I was planning on having you pay for the expensive resort and all that's needed with that money for us. What? Why do you know about the money I inherited from my mom and dad? And how do you know the amount I received? Dad told me all about it. When he had heard about your parents dying, he immediately started to search and find out how much money you'd be getting. That bastard did that? Both Dad and I have been waiting for you to contact us about it, okay? But after a week, you never got around to telling us about either of your parents dying or the money. That's when I thought you might be so saddened by their deaths that you didn't have it in you to talk with anyone about it. So that's why I contacted you first instead. So this is all about the money I received then. I knew that the amount of money I received was far too large to go unnoticed. But I thought I would have had at least a few years before someone found out about it. Instead, that dick looked into it the moment he heard about my parents' passing. So, when are we going to Cancun? I have a lot of PTO to use up, so any time is fine with me. If you really want to, this weekend would be the perfect time to go. I have no reason to go there. And taking you, of all people, to a resort for the weekend would never go well for me mentally. Especially since you only want to be around me for my money. Huh? I am giving you a chance to finally meet your favorite daughter after 2 years. You really think it's okay to say such rude things to me when I'm being so generous? I wasn't being rude to you about it. I happen to have the right to choose who I'd like to go with to a resort, and I've chosen not to go with you. If you keep saying things like that to people, you will really be forever alone. Not only did you lose both your daughter and your husband in a divorce, but now you're not going to have anyone around you when you become a grandma yourself. If you keep that kind of toxic attitude up, you're going to die all by yourself with not a single soul around you. I don't think that ever happened to me. So you can stop worrying about me. Do you really think that just because you have $2 million now, you're never going to end up alone? I actually do think that. With money like this, I'm sure I can make something happen to keep me from being alone. I can choose to find myself a new man if I want to grow old with, or I can pay to put myself into a retirement community. Sure you can. You can have all the money in the world, but being a toxic mess like you will never bring people around you. If anything, people will run away from you when they hear about the kind of person you've become. Then your life will be even worse knowing everyone hates you. I'm sure that could always be possible. You can never buy someone else's love and friendship with just money. But you can save yourself from a future like that right now. As long as you start paying for me, I'll come right back to you and be your true daughter again. If you start paying $3,000 a month for me, I'll be around you all the time. How does that sound? What? $3,000 a month? And to seal the deal on that, you'll have to take me to Cancun first. Then once I've found that I can trust you, you can start paying me that $3,000 a month to keep me around. Even if you can't be around Dad anymore, you can have me back as your daughter again. How about that? Do you want to sign up for a subscription to me? So you're saying I can be your mother again for $3,000? Why would I ever waste my money on something with no merit? But you just told me a second ago, right? You can't buy someone's love and friendship with just money. Well, I'm telling you right now that with a small payment of $3,000 every month, you can do just that. You would never want to grow up to become lonely and old, right? I am willing to love you for the rest of your life as long as you keep that $3,000 coming. You should be thankful for this special deal. I only have a son right now, and he's all I need. What? So you don't have to worry about me ever becoming old and alone, because that'll never happen. I have someone very important to me as my family. So because of that, I don't need anything from you. Now, you hold your horses, Mom. Who is your son? Ah, did you get yourself a pet or something? Jeez, Mom, you really are such an idiot sometimes. Thinking that an animal would ever be able to give you the same love and affection as a human is crazy. Huh? I never said he was a pet. I don't even have any pets. I would never get a pet to keep me company in my older age. If I passed away, what would happen to it? Then tell me who this son of yours is. Wait, did you get remarried? But Dad would have heard something about that had it actually happened. I am not remarried to anyone. I actually went and adopted my own kid. And that's why I now have a son. Huh? You adopted a son? Mom, you actually went out and got yourself an adopted son? What the hell do you think you're doing? What do you mean? I just wanted to have a son is all. I thought that with a son, I could have someone to raise and care for still and wouldn't have to worry about being alone as I got older. So that's why I chose to adopt. I have no idea why you would do something like that. I get that after losing your parents, you can become really distressed and all, but you went and adopted a child? Did you become so saddened by the loss of your parents that you actually went crazy? You're being rude. I have not gone crazy in any way, nor did I do this out of my sadness after losing my parents. I have had him long before my mom and dad passed, and he is very close to me now. I knew him even before I adopted him, and after a long time of getting to know one another, I was able to legally go through with the adoption. This year, actually. So you've known him for a long time then. So this must mean that I know him as well. I'm pretty sure you don't know a thing about him, nor does he know about you and your dad. I first met him while he was at his grandma's retirement home. But you probably wouldn't care to hear anymore since you think of things like retirement homes and caring for the elderly as stupid. You met him at a retirement home? When my mom started getting close to her final days, she developed dementia, and it was hard for me to care for her on her own. So every once in a while, I had her go to a retirement home on the weekend so that Dad and I could relax a little at home. And, well, one of the times I went in to go get her, I ran into a young man volunteering there. And after we first met, we'd always talk to one another whenever I'd be around. But he told me something very interesting the first time I met with him. He told me that I look a lot worse off than most of the elderly living there, and then proceeded to ask me if I was all right. He was volunteering there as a kid? He was so kind to me, and to think he paid enough attention to realize I wasn't okay. After that, he and I became really close. And, well, he told me that he was in a foster home at the time and went there to volunteer because it was a good thing to do with a lot of his free time. but he would soon be turning 18 and would have to leave the foster home for good. We talked a lot about both of our situations and came to really want to help one another out. So, you're telling me because of all that, you chose to adopt him? Well, it was still close to the time you and your dad had kicked me out of your lives. And he had told me he only had a few more months left before he had to leave that foster home. He really wanted to go to college after getting out of there, but he wouldn't have any support once the foster home kicked him out. When he told me about his dreams, I really felt for him. I wanted to support him so badly because I lost the child I was going to cheer for. So after a year of going through the whole process, I was able to adopt him and he moved into my home. Are you an imbecile? You're going to tell me you fell for a nameless and parentless loser like him? He's not even related to you by blood, and you're going to call him your son? You are a total idiot for wanting to raise and care for someone that has nothing to do with your family. Idiot, idiot, idiot! What about this makes me an idiot? People that aren't related by blood can still become someone's family. Blood relation doesn't mean everything when it comes to who you love as your family. You are frickin' brainless, stupid frickin' mom. I'm sure you only did that out of the fear that you would have nobody as you continue to grow older. Well, he doesn't deserve anything from you, especially that money. I'm your actual family, so think about me before trying to find something from that brat. Please do not talk about my son that way. He is the most important thing to me, and I won't stand for you being so cruel. You don't need a son, Mom. You already have a daughter, and she's actually your real daughter. Go ahead and throw that brat away, because I'm sure he only wants to be with you for your money. You still have time to get rid of him before he gets all your money. Just toss him out and come to your daughter that you love so much, and let's become close again.
The only one that thinks of Brenda as an ATM is you. You're supposed to be her real daughter, yet you kicked her out of your life and house. I'm not going to sit by and let you talk to us like that anymore, you witch.
What?
You're not going to talk trash about my mum. Even if her and I aren't related by blood, she's called me her son so many times. So if you're going to keep that poor behaviour of yours up by making fun of her, I'm going to get right back at you.
What the heck? Are you really the kid my mom adopted?
I am, and so what?
Perfect timing. My mom doesn't seem to take a hint, so I'll have to tell you about this instead. I'm sure that her and you want to be mother and son, but I'm not okay with it. I am not letting you have my mom, nor have any of that money she was given.
Why do I have to listen to a whore like you say things like that about us? You already forced your parents' divorce and cut ties to her, right? You and your dad left her when she needed you both the most, so shut the hell up.
You need to shut up. No matter what you have to say to me, I'm her actual daughter, and that makes her my mom. All you and her are trying to do is make a fake family to hide your flaws, so you fake losers can shut the hell up right now.
Who's the real fake loser here? I told her all the things I love about her and she knows it, so go ahead and tell me what you love about her. Could it be you like how she never complained to you and your dad when you'd force her to do all the chores for you? Or maybe you love her now because she's a millionaire. You say you're her real daughter, so tell me right frickin' now, what is it you love so much about her? You aren't anything to her, because you never loved her the way she wanted to love you. Do get the hell away from us, no matter how much money you need. I can't even begin to comprehend how a whore like you can come back to her, when you were the one who took everything she loved away. Destroying another person's life all because you couldn't handle becoming an adult is one of the worst things I've ever had to learn about. Who the hell do you think you are?
I think that I'm her actual daughter.
You think that just because she gave birth to you, you can act like a jackass? You're older than me, and even I'm starting to think of you as some first grader. To think someone like you is even related to my mum by blood, I cannot believe it. It's pure insanity.
Huh?
Never talk to my mum again. Brenda is no longer your mother, so leave her be. You were the one that asked for her to never be your mother again, so live with your mistakes. If you understand what I've said, then delete her contact and never talk to her again.
Thank you for yesterday, Alex. Seeing you talk to someone as horrible as her like that really made me feel good again.
Actually, I'm really sorry about that. I just became so upset with what I was seeing that I snatched the phone from you to tell her what I thought. I'm sure that was not the best way to make a first impression with her. She's going to start saying her mum adopted some kind of demon child now.
You have no reason to worry about that. Also, the fact that you called me your mom yesterday made me so excited. Now tell me, how are things going with you and getting into that college overseas? You told me that today you'd learn more about it, right?
From what I've been told, I'll be able to get right into the college of my dreams over there. I was only told that a few minutes ago, actually.
Congratulations, Alex! This is amazing for you, isn't it?
It appears that the agent I was working through to set this all up knows one of the administrators at the college, and so he was able to send all my documents and that essay straight to him. And after looking through it all, he told me he wants me to start going there next semester. I have a small entrance exam to take still, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
Well, of course it'll be fine. You've studied so hard and diligently for something like this, so you'll pass it easy peasy. I am so happy to see you getting into the place of your dreams.
I promise to continue doing my best while I'm over there. I'll make sure that I'm never spoken as the son who is only after your money. I want people to call me the son that only wants to see his mother's love and is always working hard for it.
Thank you, Alex, but you don't have to prove any of that to anyone, all right? You will always be loved by me like my son. So don't push yourself too hard if you don't have to. As long as you and I keep living the way we are now together, there will be no complaints about the family we are.
Keep living like we have been together? Do you mean you'll be coming overseas with me?
I think so. It would be really fun, I think. Interesting for sure. Also, being in this town still, in this state, has me feeling a bit worried, after finding out my ex is looking into me for my money. So getting out of this country for a while would really help me relax.
I think that's the best choice then. I've already been studying Spanish a lot, so when we get to Spain, you can rely on me.
You are always going to be my number one son. Well then, I think you and I should get started on preparing for the trip out there. The move out there, I mean. Hey, Mom! Hurry up and open the door. Stop trying to act like you're not home. What? I was even able to bring Dad along this time. You can go ahead and get rid of the foster child so that the three of us can live together again. It's not okay for just the two of you to have that $2 million. You have to be kidding me, right? Did you actually come to the house with a plan like that? If you're going to use that money on some stranger, then you can use it on your family as well. To tell you the truth, Dad and I are really in need of some financial assistance. If we can't get some of that money you have, then we'll be in hot water. What did you just say? Actually, Dad started to borrow a lot of money this year. He was making a lot of money through his job after a raise and promotion, but he started to put it all into the stock market and lost it all. Right now he owes at least $300,000. He has to pay back that much money? And as for myself, I just quit my job. But even after leaving my job, I haven't found anyone who will hire me. So you both have really been in need of some money then? And now you think you can get the woman you both threw away to help you using her parents' money? Once you let us live with you again, you'll be thankful to have your whole family back. You'll see that you really don't need that money-hogging brat anymore, so hurry up and let us inside. I'm sorry, but I've already gone and sold that house. As of right now, both Alex and I are on a plane. And we won't be back to the U.S. for a few years at the very least. What? What do you mean? My son is going to college overseas. So while he's doing that, I thought I'd move overseas with him as it's a perfect chance for me. Huh? I was also worried about what other trouble you and your father would cause, and I was right that something would happen again. So that's why I chose to move, to get that anxiety I had of you both out of my head. It was the perfect choice on my end to have us move away a few months ahead of him having to start school. There's no way. Then what is going to happen to Dad and I? We really need that money you have. Dad is in a lot of debt and I don't have a job. You are the only person we can ask to help us, Mom. Now come on, Christine. Could you stop calling me your mom? I was never going to help you both with anything after what you did to me, so go home. Mom! Good luck with whatever problems you have. Let's both work on taking great care of our separate families from now on, okay? After getting into Spain, I had my SIM card changed and was no longer getting texts or calls from Christine. From friends of mine back in town, they've told me that ever since the forced divorce, my ex's house has been a mess and has only gotten worse recently. And what's even more crazy is that both Christine and her father have been going around saying it'll only be a matter of time until they get some money out of me. But to everyone they tell that to, all they see is two very greedy and heartless individuals. And because of that, those two have pretty much lost all their friends and colleagues. Of course, no one ever came to help my ex pay off his debt, and even though he's been working for a very good company, he's having to start working a part-time job at night to make enough to pay things off. And as for Christine, she's had to start working a few jobs herself, all in order to help her dad pay off his debt, or else she too will get kicked out of his house.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
Hey, Oliver, where are you right now? I finally had our baby and you're not even around to come and see its face?
I'm sorry, Karen. I had some things going on.
You had things going on that are more important than your baby being born? Even both my parents and your parents are here with me. Why is the father of this child the only one not present?
If you already have your mom and dad and my parents there to see the baby, then I don't have to be there, right? I'm busy at the moment, getting ready to run off with a new woman. So please just shut up for me.
What? Did you just say you're going to run off with a new woman?
Sorry about that, Karen. I'm not going to be able to stick around with you to raise that baby. I'm leaving this house, so please care for it on your own.
Huh? You hold it right there. What do you mean you're not sticking around to raise our baby? And you're running off with a new woman? Are you telling me that while I've been pregnant, you've been cheating on me with another woman?
Hey! Don't get too far ahead of yourself there. I've not been cheating on you. It's only that I haven't been able to forget about my ex-girlfriend this whole time.
Your ex-girlfriend?
I'm sure I've told you about her before, right? This is the ex-girlfriend that I'd been dating for 10 years before I married you. A lot happened between us, so we were never able to go through with the marriage. But this whole time I've been with you, I've still had a bit of fire in my heart for her.
What?
I thought that by getting married to you, that love for her would fade. And by having a kid with you, that would do the trick for getting me to forget her, but even after hearing that we were having a kid, I've not been able to forget her. So that's why I've gone ahead and told her that I want her back.
You're lying, right? Wait a second. I have gone 9 months now carrying our baby that you wanted me to have so badly for you and never getting a break during that whole time. And now, after I had just gone through labor to have our baby, you're going to tell me that you're running back to your ex-girlfriend?
I only texted her about it today, but to my surprise, she said it was totally fine for me to go back to her. It looks like I wasn't the only one wanting to go back to the past relationship I had with her. She told me that after hearing about how I'd gotten married to you, she's been sad this whole time. She wants me back with her, so I have no other choice now but to go back.
So you're telling me that the plan now is to run back to her and then the both of you are going to peace out? Even though your baby was just born?
Oh, nobody's going to stop the love we have with one another. There are plenty of single mothers in this world, so you'll be just fine. So I'm leaving the baby and all that in your hands now.
No way.
I'm going to be running off now, so you can go ahead and keep living in that house. You won't even have to pay any rent for the place, so that should make life a little bit easier for you, right?
Please, Oliver, come here right now. I would like for all of us to talk about this before you just run off like that. You haven't even taken a look at your baby's face either. I'm sure when you take a good look at your baby's face, your mind will be changed. Hey, you're going to try to use your baby to keep your relationship together? That's not a good sign. I guess after becoming a mother, you forgot how to be a decent human, huh? What? Nice to meet you, Karen. This is Oliver's ex-girlfriend, Amber. I'm glad you made it through the labors of giving birth to a child, and I'm sorry that I am stealing Oliver from you now. Ah, you're Oliver's ex-girlfriend? He and I are married right now, and I just gave birth to our child. You give Oliver back to me right now. Say that all you want to me, but Oliver is only interested in me now, and I'm not giving him back to you because he was mine in the first place. Huh? There is not another man around me who is as cool and kind as Oliver. And back when I heard about him marrying another woman besides me, I was really heartbroken. But to hear that even after having a child with you, he would still rather be back in my arms, well, it's gotten me all excited. I'm sorry for being such a gorgeous ex-girlfriend. Well, it's not that I'm so gorgeous, but rather you're just not good-looking enough. It's really sad that you weren't able to keep your husband away from his ex. Excuse me? Well, good luck being a single mother. In return, I'll make sure to make Oliver the happy man he always should have been around you. Just think of that baby as being Oliver and raise it with all the love you gave him.
Hey, can you give me that house soon? I'm not happy about how you went and changed the lock on the door without ever telling me.
What? Oliver?
Jesus. It's been 10 years and I'm wanting to come back into my house. And now I can't even get in. Hurry up and let me in. Do you have any idea whose house this is?
Wait a second, Oliver. You came all the way back to this house? Even though 10 years ago you ran off with that Amber chick of yours?
Amber and I have broken up. That's why I've made the trip all the way back to my house.
You guys broke up?
Well, a lot happened. After breaking up, I thought I should find a place to lay low for a while and be by myself. That's when I thought about my house, and I haven't been back in a long time. That's why I want you to get to it and let me inside. I'm the owner of this house.
So since you've come all the way back here, does this mean you want to live with us again? You want to be with me? And with my daughter?
Are you kidding? Why would I want to live with the woman I left behind 10 years ago? And that daughter of yours, I've never even seen her before. I've nothing to do with that brat, so there's no way I want to be living here with two of you here as well. I've come all the way back here, so you and that kid of yours, get out of there now.
What did you say?
Why are you getting so upset? The owner is back in town, so I have the final say. I've been so kind these past 10 years, letting you both stay in here. But now that I want the place back for myself, you squatters need to get lost.
You hold it right there. I don't mind having to leave this house, but what do you mean you have nothing to do with my daughter? You are still her father, whether you want to accept that or not.
I get that she shares the same blood as me, so biologically I'm her father. It's been 10 years. I still haven't seen her face yet. It'd be wild of me to think of her as my family, and I don't know who she is.
What the?
Also, since I ran off the moment she was born, that means she's now, 10 years old, right? Had I come back after a year when she was still a baby, she'd probably still be cute to me. But now she's one of those annoying little runts that goes to elementary school. I actually hate brats her age the most. I cannot stand their high-pitched voices and stupid behaviour.
You really love to call your own daughter a brat? I guess you never stopped growing into a worse person after leaving me. I haven't even heard a sorry from you yet for leaving me 10 years ago. All you're back here for is the house, showing no emotion towards me or your daughter and just wanting us gone.
Say whatever you'd like about me, but this house is still going to be mine. My name is on it after all. So you don't get a say in what I do with it and who gets to live in it. If anything, you should be thankful I've let you live here for 10 years without kicking you both out. I want to hear you thank me. Right now.
Huh? You think you were being so kind, but did you forget about paying things like child support? I am not going to give you anything back now after 10 years of having to literally support my daughter on my own.
Oh, what are you going on about now? This house was built in one of the best parts of town. The cost of having to pay taxes and for utilities on a place like that costs far more than even 2 months of child support. So think of all those costs that I've been paying off as part of the child support. Since you've been able to raise your daughter in such a good part of town, I'm sure she's grown into a good little girl, right? They always say to have a good neighborhood when raising a kid, and this place is perfect for her.
They say good environment, not neighborhood. The neighborhood is, of course, important, but it's not everything. There are things like whether the child has both parents around them and whether or not there is a stable flow of money into the house. And there has to be enough activities going on to keep the child happy. There are a lot of things that are really important to a child for their growth, meaning that it's not only about the neighborhood.
You're starting to talk too much. I've had enough of your whining, so go grab the little brat and get out of here. What other choice do you have? Do you think you can just keep living in there without paying for anything? Well, I don't mind calling the police on you right now, having them arrest you for trespassing.
Excuse me?
Then, when you go to court, I'll have the judge make you pay me back for the last 10 years of living in that house. How does that sound to you? But remember, a poor single mother like you would never have the kind of money to pay me all that, so think wisely right now.
You have really fallen into hell, haven't you? All you care about is yourself. And never think for a second that there could be other things going on that don't revolve around you. I wonder how much longer you'll be able to get away with being a totally selfish prick before someone bigger than you comes along and squashes you.
Shut up. I'm done with all this. Now, get the hell out of my house. This is my house. My name is on the place and I've been living there forever. And I don't need some poor woman and her annoying brat living in it anymore. Give me my dang house back.
We've moved out of there a long time ago.
What?
So tell the person currently living there that and see what they think. From the very start, my daughter and I haven't been in that house.
Hey, what do you mean by that? Who's living in this house now then? You're telling me that you haven't been living in this house with your daughter for the past 10 years.
The moment I had my baby, my husband ran off with another chick, right? After something like that, it was pretty obvious to me that I wouldn't be able to raise her in that large house when it's just the two of us. So right after getting out of the hospital, I took my baby and some things and went back to my parents' house. And with the help of my mom and dad, I've been able to raise my daughter with not too many worries.
Huh? I have been letting you borrow this house all this time, and you haven't even been living in it.
I never asked for you to let us live in it while you ran off, right? But leaving a house empty like that isn't a great use of such a gorgeous place, right? And not too long after going back to my parents' house, there were people asking to live in it.
Don't you freaking dare tell me you've been renting the place out to some strangers now.
Don't worry. You happen to know the person just as much as I do, so they're not a stranger.
So then the person living here, I know them.
Someone you know, or one might say, a friend of a friend. I happen to let your ex-girlfriend's parents move into that house.
What? Amber's parents?
At the time, they felt the most responsible for what happened. They even came all the way out to the hospital to apologize to my parents and I for what their daughter did. And as a way of showing that they were sorry, they said they'd go live in your house that you left behind.
Wait. This doesn't make any sense. Why'd they come and live in my house as a way of apologizing to you? What kind of apology is that?
They both told me that they wanted to catch the two of you in order to get you both to pay me back for all you'd done. So they'd said they'd stay in your house and wait for the eventual day you'd come back to it.
What?
They said they didn't mind how long it took you to come back because the longer it took you to come back, the longer they got to live in that nice home. They also told me that when they were able to catch you, they'd make sure you both paid a settlement to me and all the child support you owe. So I told them it was the perfect way of saying sorry to me and let them move in a few days after I had my daughter.
So you're telling me that at this house, the one I've been banging on the door for the past 30 minutes.
That's where Amber's parents are living. So now that I know you're there, I'm going to give them a call. I'll let them both know that the man outside their house right now is the one we've been looking for. The one that ran off with their daughter, leaving his wife and baby behind. That crappy excuse for a man. I'm calling them right now.
What?
A lot happened that made you both break up. I've known for a long time about how you both broke up, The moment that Amber became pregnant, you told her that you hate kids and then left her.
No.
I always thought that the moment you left her, you'd come right back home. And not even a day after hearing about you leaving her, you're right back in town. Well, good luck now. You are going to have to deal with her parents now, as well as with whoever else might be involved, like Amber and her baby. I'm also going to let your parents know that you're back in town.
No freaking way. This is, not good. You're joking, right? There's no way her parents are living here. Amber's parents are crazy.
I don't think you should call them crazy. But you're not wrong to be afraid of them, especially when they both work for the state police. I heard that the two of them have a lot of influence in both the police force and in the court system. That's why they're both dead set on having you pay me everything I'm owed. Now, good luck with what happens next.
Please help me. If I can't get out of this mess, I'm going to be killed.
Huh?
Amber's parents are so pissed off with me right now that I'm scared for my life. Her dad is holding an axe in one hand and has been standing right beside me the whole time. They keep yelling at me, asking why I threw you away after having our baby, and then ran off with their daughter. And they're asking me why I've done it twice now. Her dad keeps telling me that I'm going to take responsibility for all my actions, and that the only other choice for me lies on the other end of that axe.
Well, they want to know why you did all that. You left me and my baby to run off with their daughter 10 years ago. And by how they apologized to me back then, they weren't all too happy with you, but then, just a decade later, you did the same thing again, but this time to their daughter who just had her baby. And you thought you could just run back to your house and not be punished for all that? I don't blame them for wanting to kill you.
But I never wanted a kid. The reason I ran away from you is to be alone with her and live life as only the two of us. But recently, Amber just kept going on and on and on about wanting a baby of her own. She must have stopped taking birth control without telling me, and that's how she got pregnant. And after telling me she was pregnant, she instantly started talking about the cost of raising a baby and that we need to change in order to become proper parents for it. I was freaked out at the time by how quickly things changed on me. I didn't know what to do.
So you've just been destined to always run off with other women the moment your current lady has a kid? But this time, things changed for you, right? This time, instead of finding another woman to run off with, leaving Amber behind, you left her and ran back to your house to try and live as a single man. All in order to run from your responsibilities again, huh? What a joke you are.
What did you call me?
This is going to be your last chance to take responsibility for all you've done. There is no more running away from everything you've done, and you'll have to answer for it all now. There isn't even a place for you to hide anymore.
This is screwed. It looks like Amber has come here now as well. Her parents called for her to come here while her dad was dealing with me, and now they're all here waiting to welcome me into hell. I can hear everyone yelling at me to be a man and take responsibility for everything I've done. I'm screwed. This is it for me.
That's right. Now that you've come back out of hiding, you're going to have to pay 10 years worth of child support to me and another 8 years after. Then you are going to be asked to marry, forced to marry Amber and live a life under tight control as her parents watch your every move trying to take care of her and your baby. I really hope they're able to help you along in a life that is more than just you running at every chance you get.
What? I have to pay you child support as well?
Of course you did, you idiot. Even if you don't love my daughter any, she is still your child. Your parents have been kind enough to send me money every so often, but that doesn't make up for everything you should owe me. And there are still years to come that you'll have to send me money. So now that you are aware of all that, have a nice time talking with everyone some more. Hey, what the hell is up with this invoice you've sent me? Why do I have to pay you a settlement now? You're asking me? Because you went and stole my husband from me. For a long time now, I didn't know where you guys ran off to, so I couldn't send you the information about it. So I'm really happy you both are back in town now. I will finally be able to get all the money I deserve. I'm not messing around here. I have a child now that I need to support. Who in their right mind would take money from a new mother? Well, that's your situation now, but 10 years ago you didn't have a kid. And by the way, the only reason you were able to get married to Oliver was because of me, right? I was finally able to get that divorce from Oliver after he came back. giving you the chance to be his wife finally. You finally will never have to worry about becoming a single mother because your husband is forced to be with you. I want you to thank me for all that and give me the money I've asked for. Shut up. I'm not thankful for any of this now that it's all going to be the worst marriage in the history of man. I would much rather be a single mother now instead of having to pay you all this money. You would? But you were finally married to Oliver, but you'd rather lose all that so you don't have to pay me? My life with him is horrible and would only be made worse by having to pay you. I was happy at first to have my dad force him to marry me, but this isn't the marriage I thought we'd have. Oliver won't even look at me anymore, and I feel just as alone as I did without him around. What makes all of this worse is that he has to pay a lot of money as well, so his excuse to me for never being around is that he's working all day. And the moment he gets home, he goes right to bed. He doesn't seem to give a crap about me and the baby, and it's making me want to give up on life. Wow. Well, that's not quite a romantic and loving marriage, now is it? And after trying to talk with my dad about it, he just tells me to shut up and be happy for what I have. I thought he was here to support me, and it doesn't feel that way at all. My dad's even told me that he did his part getting Oliver to marry me, and that he doesn't care about what happens after. Nobody in this world is listening to me. I even tried going back to see my mom and dad, but they won't let me into their house unless I bring the baby. Well, I don't blame them. They had to do everything in their power to get your life back on track with Oliver, and after having to wait 10 years to do that, they've had enough. I'm sure they still love you and all that, but deep down they just really want to focus on their own lives and not their petty and annoying daughter. With the way things are going, though, I'm not going to be able to raise my baby. I never knew that Oliver hated kids this much. I thought that after getting married, he'd stop whining about the baby, but he's only gotten worse. If nothing changes with him, then my child is going to grow up with practically no father. Don't worry. I was able to raise my daughter without ever having her father around. If anything, you'll be better off than me because your husband is still in the house with you and making money for your baby. Huh? So please stop whining about how hard your life is and be happy with what you have. I already spoke with Oliver about this, but the environment a baby is raised in is very important. So do your best to raise them in a place where they feel loved and supported. And don't forget, you still owe me money, and I'd like that sent to me soon. After that, I was able to get both settlements sent to my bank account from Oliver and Amber. This was also followed by the remaining child support I required from Oliver and this month's as well. I'm not sure how they were all able to pay me that quickly, but something tells me their parents stepped in to pay me for them. And when it comes to how those two are living together now, they are still not able to converse with one another, and their marriage really is just the most depressing thing. And even with his baby at home and his wife asking him to help out all the time, Oliver goes to work from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day trying to make money in order to pay off all he owes. Amber's pretty much been left on her own with her baby and is trying her best to make things work with what little she has. When it comes to myself, I've finally been given all the money I'd been wanting, and am now able to take my family on a trip to some theme park to treat my daughter to the fun she's been wanting to have. I know that from here, I'm going to have to start saving up for her future choices of going to college or something, so having this money from both Oliver and Amber has made it a lot easier to entertain my girl.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.